escuchar. De acuerdo a la partitura, do, re, fa, re, escuchad, lo repito. Hablando de Roma, che, mirá que vino.
Voy a haber traído el...
No, hoy no. Bien, canto bien. Qué cómico. No.
Este tema también, este tema para violín chileno.
Claro, porque vos podés hacer. Los violines pueden hacer.
Shabbat Shalom. It is a beautiful day out. You feel the rest of Shabbat, maybe a little bit more this weekend than in previous weekends, because it's the end of school. And school got out for Miami-Dade County at least yesterday, and there is a quiet. Maybe a little quiet on the street, a little quiet, certainly a quiet on our campus. It's a great way to enter into Shabbat. Even more beautiful and more wonderful is that we are here together. Hinei ma tov u'manayim, how good it is that we get to be together biyachad in unity. If you don't know the words, it's page 128, but I'm pretty confident you do.
Hine, 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 hine. Hine, 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 hine. We try. Hine, 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 hine. Pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to come together in peace and in unity. How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to come together in peace and in unity. Hine mato u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Adonai, you abide though all things change. I'm anxious and fearful, and I turn my heart to you, looking to you and leaning on your strength. It is written, blessed is the one whose strength is in you. Bless me now with faith and courage. Help me to feel that you are with me, steadying and sustaining me with the assurance that I am loved. Be with me and bring me hope, that in the days to come my aspirations may be fulfilled for my good and the good of those I love who depend on me. Banish my fears with the sense that you are always present to uphold and sustain me. As it is written, have no fear, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with the power of my righteousness. Amen. Page 130, Lechu Niranana Adonai. Come, let us sing to Adonai.
Lechu niranana Adonai. Maria letzuri sheinu. Nekama fana betodah. nari alo. Echunde nannenala Adonai. Nari ale tzuri sheinu. Nekanma fana betoda bizmiro nari alo. Yala la 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 la
Page 138, we welcome Shabbat as if we were welcoming a bride, Lecha Dodi.
So, Sophie, you want to sing this is the version you know?
Cantor. En re. En re. Para ella. Ok.
Adodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, לקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, לקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, לקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, לקבלה. זכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם תפארת ונתילה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי אם יכורה ורחה, ארוך מקדם נסוכה, סף מעשה במרחה בתילה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. הדודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה.
Rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. פני שבת לקבלה, פני שבת לקבלה.
Thank you, Sophie. We're going to invite Heather Oppenheimer to light our Shabbat candles.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la, 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 la 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 la, la la la.
We invite the congregation to rise for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Amari Varabi.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Eleolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
מי כמוך.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטר בקודש, תורת תהילות אוסף אליהם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטר בקודש, תורת תהילות אוסף אליהם. ונאמר הקיף אדוני את יעקב, וגלם חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu Esharo, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו, השכיבנו, אשרנו, ופרוס עלינו, שמרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו, סוכת שלומך, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו, השכיבנו, בשלום let there be love, let there be love, and Adonai Elohim among us, let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Shamru v'nei Israel at Shabbat. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, שבת ויהי נפש.
We rise for Amidah, page 164.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קומל חסדים טובים, וקונדל הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן הברכה ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור עולם אדוני, החיה כל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומעתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך על גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festivals. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and earth were finished into all their array. On the seventh day, God completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant to us as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deed and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
ברוך אתה אדוני שותך לבדך בעידן נעבוד מודים אנחנו לך.
We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
ברוך אתה אדוני הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות.
We take a moment for silent personal prayer.
עושה שלום במרמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו עושה שלום במרמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. May the one who makes peace above makes peace for you, for me, for us, yeah. May the one who makes peace above makes peace for everyone. May the one who makes peace above makes peace for you, for me, for us, yeah. May the one who makes peace above make peace for everyone. עושה שלום במרמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו
We add to the prayers of our Siddur and the prayers of our heart, a prayer for healing for all those who are ill among us. On this Shabbat, we are thinking about Adam Bomal, Yosef ben Eliezer, Joyce Block, Hillary Blumberg, Chaim ben Moshe, Elliot Citron, Chava Franco, Chaim ben Bachia, Stephen Friedberg, Maria Gonzalez, Lindsay Gottschall, Abby Hurwitz, Mindy Elizabeth Jones, Susan Jones, Judy Camp, Rose Singer, Gilda Steiger, Johnny Tischler, Kevin Webb, Connie Weinberg, Zahara Bat Ayala. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yavarech v'yireh pei et cholim HaKadosh Baruch Hu yamalei rachamim alehem v'lahach lemam v'larapotam v'lahach zikam v'lahachyotam v'yishlach b'mheira refuah shlema, complete healing, refuah nefesh, the healing of the soul, refuah guf, the healing of the body, b'toch shar cholei Yisrael. Hashtava Galav Isman Karif and Omar, we say, Amen. Gun Safety Awareness Shabbat. Just let that sink in. How did we come to need a gun safety awareness Shabbat? Very simply, around 44,000 people died of gun-related injuries in the United States in 2024, according to the CDC. And while that number dropped for the third consecutive year, is still among the highest annual totals on record. I would love not to have to talk about this. But as our Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, says, when the people are wandering in the desert and they send spies into the country that they are about to inhabit, they describe the place as Eretz Ochelet Yoshveha, a land that eats its inhabitants. Okay? And we are facing the proverbial giants that frightened our ancestors in the wilderness. Now, right now, I look around the room, I can feel it. Okay? I can feel people wanting to raise their hand. I can see that there would be those who would say that this topic should not even be at Shabbat services. And I say to you, I wish it wasn't. The issue, though, of the individual is absolutely paramount and necessary in Jewish life. And if we are going to be a healing congregation, then we have to care about our bodily safety. And just like breast cancer, Shabbat, we need to understand our risks and assess our options. This isn't advocacy, this is information. And for those of you who say, who think I'm going to say that people shouldn't have guns, I hear you. And up until recently, I would have said that. I don't think it's quite so clear-cut anymore. Unfortunately, because of the times that we live in, we have to reassess our visceral feelings about firearms. We in the Jewish community need to think differently. Now, when I go and I visit Pastor Jackson at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, not that far from here, I can park my car in any spot on their parking lot. And I can walk right through the open, unlocked doors and be welcomed. We know all too well the dangers of leaving our doors open. Tonight, we confront the reality that guns are a part of our society. And so therefore, it is a pleasure, not a pleasure, it is a pleasure, it's more of an honor to welcome veteran police captain Mark Frieder of the Aventura Police Department to Temple Sinai and to our Bima. As a friend of our community and as we say, a member of the tribe, Captain Frieder was pleased to accept our invitation to speak, and I want to thank the Cantor family for navigating that. Captain Frieder has an interesting family history and an impressive career record, but rather than take his precious time, let me just welcome him. He's going to speak for about 10 minutes, he said, and then he's got a couple of slides to share with us, and then he's going to answer some questions for about 5 or so minutes. Captain Frieder, I'm going to invite you, as you can see, I'm going to invite you to stand at Cantor Norman's lectern. I promise you, you will be much more comfortable if you're there, and you let us know when you want our slide, when you want the slides up and ready to go. Ready to go? Oh, advance the slide. Okay. Oh, there we go. Are we putting these on the screen? Yes. Fantastic.
It will be number 6.
Yeah.
Can we turn this on?
You don't need to turn it on. You can just talk right into that microphone right there.
I'm not very good at standing still. I tend to walk around, so if I fall over or I get tripped up, pick me up. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Frieder. I am a veteran law enforcement officer of Miami-Dade County for over 30 years. I have, as the rabbi has stated to me in a very eloquent way previously, a lot of street creds. I've spent most of my career on the streets dealing with people's moments of crisis or negative events that have happened in their lives. The average person has approximately 4 to 5 critical incidents that occur in their lifetime, and the average police officer experiences over 250 to 400 in their career. That changes the way that we look at things, and I want to share some of those viewpoints with you this evening. But I want to start by thanking all of you and the rabbi for several different things. Number one, he spoke of this being a place that we can come to survive the storms of life. Temples and the cantors, the music, and the traditions that we all have enjoyed. Can you hear me? Okay. That we all have enjoyed, whether in our childhood, our adolescence or adulthood, has been something that has given me the safe harbor from the storms that I've had to weather so that we can be free as a society. And it is a privilege for us to be free. The slides, I have a clicker to turn these, please. I promise I'll return it shortly. I speak all over the country. I've also spoken as far away as other countries, including Montreal. Recently at B'nai B'rith on a variety of security and law enforcement related matters, but specifically as they address the Jewish community. I know that some folks like statistics. I'm not the numbers guy, but I'll provide them to you as we go, and I'll provide all the exact numbers at the very end of this presentation. But I also provide a lot of consultation to a lot of law enforcement agencies when it comes to securing churches and temples and other religious facilities, including mosques. Religious facilities, as you'll see on the screen here, have had over 960 violent incidents at churches and temples in the last 15 years. That's specifically at a religious facility. That is not society at large. Those numbers are significantly more. I'll provide those numbers to you shortly. A lot of those incidents occur from people that are actually known or are affiliated with those religious facilities for the numbers that I'm referring to here. In 2017, I responded when I was off duty to a temple in the city of Aventura, and I had to actually apprehend a fellow congregant member who had attacked another member within their temple. That's not the terrorist that we've been taught to look for. It's not what we've been taught on TV or in public opinion. But it is reality that there are events that will happen that are not on the radar, and I say this to bring it to your level of consciousness. My goal tonight is to raise your level of consciousness, to inspire you, and to also encourage you to take responsibility for your own individual safety and that of our collective Jewish community. There are over 665 of these incidents that have occurred, and I think it's fair to say, as you'll see in these slides, that it's pretty common for us to see it on the news and in the media and publicly on a pretty regular basis. These pictures are all taken here in the state of Florida, and it concerned a lot of folks. The rabbi spoke earlier about fear. Is there anybody in this room that has no fear whatsoever? If there is, I need to have a conversation with you because your body isn't working correctly. Fear is a healthy thing. It's what keeps us alive. It's biologically programmed into us. What you're looking at is examples of modern day hatred. Laser beams would project these items up on bridges, roadways, sporting events, sporting venues. Our governor of the state of Florida, and I'm not a political person, so please don't think I'm speaking about one party or the other. That's not what I'm saying here. Our governor in the state of Florida listened to law enforcement leaders like myself and said, we have an emerging problem that our current laws do not apply to. We passed some of the most strictest religious hate crime penalties in the country as a result of what has occurred in these pictures. This happened up in Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, Florida, and we did have some of it here. The people that were responsible for all this, if you remember during COVID, we had an individual by the name of Kanye West who had the attention of Hollywood's Movie Time. He proceeded to state some comments that were not supportive of the Jewish community, to be nice. As you'll see on the building in the bottom left corner of this picture, it refers to Kanye. They're saying that Kanye was correct. I want to show you that this is occurring right here in our state. This is not some old historical item. These are all items that have been taken within the last 3 years. The gentleman that you see sitting in the middle, I have specifically blurred his face a little bit. But if you'll look over his heart, you'll see that there is a tattoo of a swastika on his chest. As I was with the Cantor family, enjoying ourselves recreationally here in Central Florida, minding our own business, trying to enjoy the recreation and the beauty of the state of Florida, this gentleman came across my radar. I clearly pay attention and look at the world a lot differently than most, and I immediately started taking pictures and collecting information of this nice individual so that the FBI could continue to watch him and keep an eye on him for the rest of his natural-born life. What you're seeing here are bags that were thrown into people's yards or driveways. It was thrown specifically within the 5-foot limit, also known as the county swale. That is a publicly accessible area. It is not trespassing. It is not burglary. It is not entering somebody's private property. The people that organized this campaign that went over Broward and Palm Beach counties knew exactly what they were doing. They specifically wanted to bait people into committing a crime or violating their civil rights so that they could sue them and make money off of this. They were unsuccessful. You guys have seen these articles in the news pretty significantly around the country. Is that fair to say? Is there anybody that hasn't seen one of these events in the last 5 to 10 years? We're all familiar that this stuff is real. This is not historical stuff. This is not made up. If you'll look in the bottom right corner, the Poway synagogue shooting is dividing the Jewish community in San Diego. What I would tell you is if we have a critical incident, it is imperative that all of us come together to support, help, and protect and defend each other. We are all in this together. The gentleman in the top right corner, I mentioned that I had a critical incident that occurred over in Aventura in 2017. That rabbi over there was so appreciative of what occurred, he actually flew that gentleman who actually ended up resolving a situation in Poway, and he brought him here so that I could debrief him, so that I would have the best possible information when I spoke around the country to synagogues and churches and mosques. It is designed when these folks attack us, whether it be digitally, whether it be physically, whether it be through propaganda that is provided through the internet, through your telephones, or through modern day imagery that is now created artificially. You have to question everything today with artificial intelligence. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's real anymore. Verify it. Think about things critically. This is something that with our younger populations, they are not very good at this. They've not been taught to think critically. They've been taught to obey authority no matter what. The older generations were taught to think and think critically about stuff. So please make sure if you have grandchildren or children that are out there that they learn those skills. This is an example that came from the University of Florida here in the state of Florida. The new laws began to apply because the governor listened to us, and within one session, we were able to get the stricter enhancements to the hate crimes laws in the state of Florida. Also, the 1964 Civil Rights Act of the United States now protects our religious freedoms, and we are a protected class. That's the first time in history. If you're not aware of it, please read up on that. Florida State University, my undergraduate alma mater. Yay, as I mentioned to you in the first picture in the bottom left corner where it said Kanye West, it said some things that were not politically nice. You'll see that it took a movement of its own. It went nationwide on college campuses. But if you also notice on the right-hand side, Florida State University and the leaders from that community immediately came out with responses supporting the Jewish community and protecting the students on campus. We're talking about gun control tonight, but I believe that it was important for you to understand how we're getting to the point that we're at now, that the rabbi is having to speak about these matters and that we're having to address them in law enforcement. What's occurred is people have been attacked, people have not been protected, people have learned to live in fear again. That fear went away for a long time in this country. We felt safe, we felt free, and we were free to practice our own religion. The statement that you see in front of you, the police cannot protect the citizen at this stage of our development, and they cannot even protect themselves in many cases. It is up to the private citizen to protect himself and his family, and this is not only acceptable but mandatory, was said by a gentleman by the name of Jeff Cooper. Does anybody know who Jeff Cooper is? Anybody at all? Jeff Cooper is the individual who was a United States Marine who invented modern-day handgun and firearms safety. He is the individual that created most of the training programs that are in place in our United States military for firearms today. The Cooper method is what he developed. His goal was to make sure that soldiers didn't shoot themselves or accidentally kill somebody or injure somebody that they shouldn't. In order for us to understand our future, we have to understand our past. Religiously, we're great. We're amazing at knowing the Talmud, biblical teachings from 15, 16, 17, 1800s on. But we don't necessarily remember history of the countries that we live in. This is firearm safety. Mr. Cooper states that if you have and I'm going to give credit to our cantors tonight, just because you have a guitar does not mean that you're a musician. Just because you have a firearm does not mean that you're proficient or should have a firearm. I don't believe, on a personal note, and I'm not speaking for my department, I don't believe that every citizen should have a firearm. I don't believe that every person is capable or equipped to make some of the decisions that I've had to make in my life. And there are penalties and prices for those decisions. I believe that people should have open eyes and an open, knowledgeable understanding of what those decisions may be. We're going to touch very, very briefly on that tonight because the rabbi has been gracious enough, if you have interest in a variety of topics, to allow me to come back another time to have in-depth classes as part of your lifelong learning program. I've taught at Nova University as part of their lifelong learning program as well. So I think that focusing in on what people want to learn is really important, and not just throwing 1,000 things at people and saying, this is the way and it's the only way. I don't believe that. So in front of you are 3 items. Each one of them is a tool. Actually, technically it's 4. Each one of them is a tool. They can provide shelter. They can provide a way of feeding yourself. They can provide a way of protecting your family. Yes, the car keys can provide you a way of feeding your family. You get in the car and drive right down the street to Kosher Kingdom or Publix or Winn-Dixie, whatever your choice may be, but you can feed your family with a car. You can also escape a situation by simply swallowing your pride, swallowing your ego, and walking away from a situation that there may not be a successful outcome to. A knife is carried by many. In some places it's allowed, in some places it's not. We use it to eat our meals every day. A firearm is a very typical controversial topic within the United States and many other countries as well. Laws are different all around the world. Here are Mr. Cooper's 4 rules to firearm safety. Number 1, all firearms are to be treated as if they are fully loaded. Number 2, we never point our firearms in a direction of something that we are not prepared to destroy. There is no second chance when you discharge a firearm. Number 3, you are to keep your finger off the trigger at all times. If you find a firearm and you pick it up, do not put your finger on the trigger ever unless you are prepared to destroy whatever it is pointed at. Number 4, always, if you do have a firearm and you are needing to use it, understand what it is that you're intending to deal with and what may be behind it. This is something I teach my police officers, not only in the academy, when I spent 10 years teaching them how to work on the streets and keep our communities safe. I had to tell them, don't just focus on what you're looking at. Open your eyes up and look at what's going on around and behind and above or below what you're looking at. That's something that biologically is very difficult for somebody under severe stress. There's all kinds of medical reasons, but you have something that's called tunnel vision, for a very generic description. It focuses your field of view, it restricts your hearing, it affects your breathing. These are all things that my officers are trained to work through. When you get to my point in my career where you've done this for 30 years, those same bodily functions don't work the same as a normal person anymore. It creates other issues. That's why most law enforcement officers, within 5 to 10 years of their retirement date, unfortunately pass away. One of the biggest problems that you're going to hear in our world that has not been spoken about until COVID, for the first time in history during COVID, firearms that were used by police officers to commit suicide outpaced the number of bad folks or subjects shooting and killing police officers. It is now openly being spoken about. There is now support being brought in. Why do I bring this up about police officers? Because our public, and somebody you interact somewhere within this congregation, will have somebody who is having difficulties. They may be autistic, they may be deaf, they may be blind, they may have psychological injuries or psychological issues that have been passed down from the Holocaust to our family members. I had to live with that in my own home. My mother picked it up from her parents that came out of camps. So I tell you all of this to understand a firearm is a tool. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best tool. Not everybody, as I mentioned a moment ago, should have a firearm or use a firearm. There are other options if you are one of those folks that choose not to carry, use, or have. And Rabbi, I'm going to challenge you for our younger generation of youth. Typically, when we see young men or women that are bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, they disappear to college, they disappear, they come back when they're starting a new family, and we have a gap that occurs there. I want an extra year for them to spend with you guys. When they're done with their bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, bring them back. Please teach them some basic life skills, first aid, how to apply a tourniquet as you see in front of you. That's the black strap in the picture. Why am I asking for this? Because a critical incident or an emergency within our community affects us all. If somebody goes into my mall across the street in Aventura, do you think I have enough policemen or fire rescue people to respond? There's 26 million people a year that visit that location. The reality, and I'm not being politically correct, I'm telling you guys the reality of the world. The Boston Marathon bombing, you had citizens coming out of the crowd that took out their belts and knew how to apply it as a tourniquet because somebody had taught them and they knew during a time of crisis how to help. It doesn't always have to be somebody having a gun or a firearm to solve a problem. There are those that will deal with that. There are those that are prepared to deal with those scenarios. But I also need team partners from my community. I want to challenge you a little bit further. Do you have an empty closet somewhere in this building? Please put emergency supplies for men and for women, male and female children in that closet. Every one of you have something sitting on a shelf somewhere at home that can be dedicated or donated and placed in that closet. I cannot tell you how many times in the middle of the night I've had to call up rabbis or call up my Jewish community and said, I need this for somebody in need. I don't have a formal charity. And my kosher folks are even more vulnerable during times of natural disaster, hurricanes, etc. We have a fuel crisis going on in the country right now. How many of you grew up during the 80s when you had gas lines? I know the younger generation, half the room didn't even raise their hands. I'm an emergency manager for a city. I have to keep hospitals running. I have to keep critical infrastructure running. When I don't have fuel and I don't have food, our society is not functioning. They're going to turn to the rabbi, they're going to turn to their community for help. You want to know how you fight terrorism? You want to know how you fight these accidental deaths? As a community, we need to have honest and open conversations on preparedness. If you have a firearm in your home, you are required under state of Florida law to keep it locked and secured. The rabbi and the nice folks that have set up the table out front have literature, free locks, and just about every firearms manufacturer that I know of in this country will provide you with a free gun lock should you need it. There is no reason, I'm sorry, I'm calling this like it is, I'm not going to be politically correct. There is no reason for a child to find a gun, pick it up, and accidentally shoot themselves. I taught a class last year at a range called the Founders Club in Fort Lauderdale. They're opening up a new location here in North Miami. They provided free education for gun safety awareness. I was one of the instructors. I'm an NRA instructor. I taught folks about it. 1 hour after that class concluded, a Miami-Dade County school police officer's child shot themselves with their mother's gun, and it was their duty weapon. There was no reason for that. Carelessness is the number one reason for these accidental shootings by the gun owner. Okay? If you choose to own or have a gun, it comes with a lot of responsibility. I tell you the same thing about your driver's license. Most people do not look at a vehicle as being capable of hurting people, but I see it every day. Responsibility, individual accountability are two main tenets of what we in the Jewish community need to do in order to reduce the number of fatalities with guns. We can accomplish this so easily. It's not rocket science, it's not hard. You see the Hatzalah ambulance there, all volunteers. If you learn CPR as a child, you carry those skills for the rest of your life. If somebody has an accident at school, at camp, at a temple, wherever they may be on the highway driving around, they have a skill. We have a major from Miami-Dade County Police Department who was involved in a motorcycle accident last year. He lost 2 legs and an arm in this accident. A Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Explorer, it's a high school student that is basically career shadowing to see what the profession is about, had just learned how to apply a tourniquet and do CPR. That deputy is alive today because a 14-year-old girl saved his life. His family is eternally grateful for that. That's why I'm challenging you and asking you, please educate our youth. These Hatzalah folks will be happy to do it for free. If not, you tell Andre Reutman, and I'll take care of the tab. So, back to gun safety. The reason that a lot of people turn to buying firearms, and it happened very heavily during COVID, I had rabbis coming to me who would never have considered ever having a firearm, as your rabbi has just explained to you today. In the Orthodox community, they came to me. Mark, I'm scared. I have people that have firearms in my congregation. What do I do? Which way do I turn? This is not in my wheelhouse. They didn't teach this to me in rabbinical school. But it's something that's being injected into my world. How do I handle it? And the honest answer was, have an honest conversation. What are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? And what do we need to do to get you and the folks educated? There are firearms ranges all over the country where there are certified instructors through the National Rifle Association and other volunteer organizations that will teach people for free. It's available online. The state of Florida's Florida Wildlife Commission has online courses you can take, or your friends can take, or your children can take over the age of 18 for the children. The reason that that information is out there is so that accidents don't happen. We're not talking about crimes. We'll talk about that in a second. A lot of these situations are accidental. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios that I've dealt with in my police world. We had some parents that respected their son's wishes in order to purchase a firearm. He was 22 years old, had returned from college, had been responsible his whole life, never did anything wrong. He comes home from the range where he's supposed to practice, supposed to exercise good gun skills, and he begins to clean his firearm. He has an accidental discharge. It wasn't an accident, was it? If you follow the 4 rules of Mr. Cooper. What's rule number 3? We never put our finger on the trigger unless we are prepared to destroy what is at the end of that barrel. He violated that rule. Fortunately, it was a very successful outcome of that situation, but I want to explain to you just how far this situation went and how bad it could have been. The bullet went through his bedroom door, through the laptop that his mother was sitting at, through the front door of the residence, and across the hallway where it embedded itself in a metal door that was a storage locker on the other side of the hallway. That was a 9mm. Nothing big, nothing crazy, just a normal round. These items are a tool. If misused, carelessly, recklessly, inappropriately, they can really do a lot of damage. And I tell the same thing to my police officers in uniform. Some of them listen, some of them make mistakes. Hopefully, none of those mistakes are deadly. So, if we don't want to live in fear, we have to do something, right? That's the normal human response. I have to do something. I want to get involved. Let's slow things down a little bit. Let's think about this logically and without emotion. The criminal does not ever expect that their person that they are targeting will fight back or defend themselves. That is why Jews historically were attacked. We were perceived to be quiet, meek, and a vulnerable population. We are definitely easily identifiable, as simple as a kippah or as visible as an Orthodox individual walking with their black clothing and their tzitzis hanging out from underneath their clothing. You can see them a mile away. I see them on the highway with the bumper stickers on the car with Hebrew letters. I see a lot of different things that immediately identify a Jewish member of our community to anybody that's outside that knows who and what we are. If you are prepared for a medical emergency, if you're prepared to drive away instead of fighting with somebody, there is a good book that's out there called Verbal Judo. We engage in that, husband and wife. We have arguments or disagreements with our partners sometimes, And we have to engage in judo back and forth in order to get our points and opinions across in an effective way, but without destroying the relationship. We engage in negotiation every day on the streets, whether we realize it or not. That's my point. Sometimes we are able to not have history repeat itself. The rabbi mentioned that we would like to give you a little bit of history, and it's my family. On the right-hand side, you'll see the Gissi Fleischman and Rabbi Michael Dov Weissmandl were the leaders of the group that they originally called the Prakovna Skupina. They worked together secretly with other members, including Rabbi Abba Frieder, who happens to be one of my former relatives who has passed away. The resistance occurred during World War II by finding people hiding places, counterfeiting documents, including passports, immigration cards, etc., in order to get Jews out of Europe. The cars that you see in the bottom left corner are real pictures. Those are mostly women and children, which was the future generations of Judaism that they were trying to survive successfully by bribing governmental officials. That is why my family story remained a secret until 2004. There were a lot of people that were bribed, corrupted in order to save lives. Sometimes people have to do what's wrong to do what's right. And Rabbi Frieder's diary was also used to assist with the prosecution of war criminals during the Nuremberg trials. You see the plaque? Our family member's name is there. We're going to go a step further. These are documentaries you can share with your family, friends, or children. There's nothing provocative in these movies. But the picture that you see in the center are all survivors that went off those cars and that were diverted into the Philippines. Rescue in the Philippines was a U.S. territory in the Philippines. However, we had a family friend that was there. His name was Dwight D. Eisenhower, and he liked to smoke cigars, which our family manufactured since the ripe old age of 1864, and I continue to make to this day. I also manufacture the only kosher made in America cigar in the United States, and it is not for the reason that you believe. It is to protect your constitutional right to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of expression. And a U.S. Supreme Court case was decided in 2025 in October to take all of those rights away from all of us. Cigars are about bringing people together to have meaningful conversations, as your rabbi has done tonight. If you should ever visit Israel in Lashon Ritzion, there is a monument. That is the president, Mr. Duarte, of the Philippines, who is meeting the survivor that broke our family story and told it to Cigar Aficionado, who unfortunately published it and did all kinds of public things. But at the end of the day, here's my point. There is safety in numbers in the Jewish community, and safety starts with us being aware of our surroundings. If you go to a friend's house and there's a firearm that's out and visible, there is something wrong. It should not be laying around where somebody can walk over and pick it up. It is my personal belief that if I have a firearm and I put it on a table and I leave it there for 20 years and nobody touches it, it won't hurt anybody. It's a tool. Please remember that. For my statistic folks, here's my last slide. This is from the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, the most recent available statistics from 2023 and 2024. I want to point something out. I asked the rabbi a question when I first met with him, and he didn't understand where I was coming from at the time, but I'm going to point it out now. 53.2% of hate crime attacks are based on race, ethnicity, or ancestry. It's a visible feature. The next one, 23.5%, is religion. And the final one is 17.2% based on sexual orientation. There are certain communities that are vulnerable. Religious communities, alternative lifestyle communities, and race. Unlike history in the past, what I will tell you is that in the past, the Jewish community has been able to partner with other minority groups. I still believe that to be the case. But I also believe that there's hatred coming out of those groups that may not have existed prior to World War II, as we saw during World War II. So my point is this. Prepare yourself as if there was a hurricane coming. If you choose to have a firearm, get training. Understand what Mr. Cooper's 4 rules of safety are. If somebody is not following those rules, get away from them. Get out of the home. Tell your children to do the same. The rules for Mr. Cooper are available on the internet. It's pretty simple. 4 steps. Does anybody have any questions? I can be all over the board. I'll allow the rabbi to help me field some of this.
All right, I'm gonna, because we ran significantly past 10
Sorry.
minutes, that's okay. What I'd like to do, Jason, since you raised your hand, I'm willing to entertain your question as long as we can answer it reasonably quickly, or we can stay afterwards and Captain Feeder can answer your questions at that point. Jason, do you want to answer it now, or do you want to wait until after? Whatever works for me. So you're putting it on me to do. Go ahead. How to
Let's start with the first one, education. Educate yourself on how to properly use the tools that you choose to use to protect or defend others, number 1. Number 2, educate yourself on the laws in the United States Constitution, which are the rules of engagement. Number 3, if you're going to protect people, you need to understand, do they want to be protected? Number 4, is the facilities that you're entering. I'm not speaking about temple because you're all over the place every day in your day-to-day transactions. Are the facilities that you're using open to you carrying or not? And let me throw three sentences in here. Florida just became a right to carry state in January. I'm the person that stops cars in the street in a uniform when I'm not wearing a suit on Shabbos. And I can tell you that it was a learning curve for us. It was introduced in a very quick manner. It is in other states. Statistically, the states that has occurred, crime has come down. I want to throw something out there, and it's not political, it's financial. Whether you believe it or not, the world is experiencing financial stress in some places, and some of that drives some of what is going on. And the background in the state of Florida was, during COVID, there were people that got scared. They needed to protect their families. They tried to go and apply for permits, and the process got so far backed up with the state that it would take you 6 months to 8 months to even get a permit legally. So that's why this came forward of, if we ever have a hurricane, times of civil unrest, or a disaster, we don't want the good citizens, and not me, the people that made the decision, our state legislators. They didn't want the good, honest, hardworking citizens not able to protect themselves from somebody that may have broken in a car and stolen a firearm. That's the background behind it. I'll stop there. I'll be happy to discuss further with you in depth as long as you need. As for anybody, let's let the rabbi finish with the religious duties.
Thank you, Captain. So appreciative of all of the information and the challenges that it puts forth. We cannot. I am struggling, as you heard, to think about how we should approach this. This will be something that I think our leadership is going to need to be thinking about. But it is good to have individuals like Captain Peter to be here, to be serve as resources for us, to teach us, and of course, to protect us on the streets. And I say on behalf of our congregation, thank you to you representing all of law enforcement who have been generous with us in ensuring our safety here at Temple Sinai. Okay, we are going to conclude our service. Yes, that's fine. We are going to conclude our service with Aleinu, page 586. We invite the congregation to rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה, היוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, אלא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני המלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Be seated. We turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us, those who have left us with the gift of memory. On this Shabbat, we remember Marlene Cantor and Avigdor Landman, who have died over the past 30 days, for whom we are observing a Shloshim. We remember these, the yortzites of our congregants' loved ones, whom we have commemorated over the past week. Deborah Alexander, Paul Berkowitz, Simon Bloom, Paul H. Braun, Morris Cohen, Joan Brick Getz, Gerald M. Gold, Charles S. Green, Francis Hochheiser, Leonardo Lieb, Ralph J. Lindo, Roberta Schwartz Martinez, Rose Max, Jessica Mollett, Ruth Moss, Renee Ohana, Dorothy S. Schiffman, Lieutenant Samuel B. Shapiro, Fred Taub, James T. Triweiler, Leroy Weiner, and all those who are listed below who are remembered on our memorial walls here in the sanctuary. Join together for Kaddish Yatom Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, or on the screen above. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galal v'zman kari v'yimru. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam omaya, yitbarach v'yishtavach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah v'yichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, dal miran be'alma v'imru. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. The source of peace, send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. I invite you to be seated. Once again, want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. To say it's nice to see Stan and Gail Green. Thank you for sponsoring our Shabbat services in memory of Stan's father, Charles. To Heather and Marty Oppenheimer in memory of their friend, our Cole Sinai choir member, Cy Bloom. And Ann Zartler, if you are watching, thank you for sponsoring in memory of your uncle, Lieutenant Samuel B. Shapiro. Just a couple of things coming up. Of course, February, the Morocco trip, but way before that is not this coming Friday, but the Friday after that. We are very glad Javier and Isabel Alvarez-Levy are going. They just came back from doing Volunteers for Israel. And so they are going to share some photos and some stories with us. And as I said in our announcements, a boots on the ground. They wore a lot of army boots, right? Yes. So we hope that you will come not the 12th, but the 19th to hear what's happening in Israel. And also maybe it's something that you might want to consider doing. We hope that you will join us for that. I think we are ready to conclude our service. We are going to conclude with the, one more. Not allowing me to, Betavish. All right, there it is.
This is a prayer that it's a combination of sources, but it ends with the line from Psalm 29, where we say, Adonai oz li'amo iten, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. Words that resonate today as we heard from the captain. So we ask Adonai to bestow strength upon your people and bless our people with peace. Ve'ata shalom uveitecha shalom Bechol asher lecha shalom Ve'ata shalom uveitecha shalom Bechol asher lecha shalom Adonai, Adonai, oz le'amo iten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom ve'ata shalom uveitecha shalom v'chol asher lecha shalom ve'ata shalom uveitecha shalom v'chol asher lecha shalom v'chol asher lecha shalom.
We're going to invite everybody to come a little bit closer for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'ga'afen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon inchilanu zikaron למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.